Hello, my name is Whitney Woodham, and in this vlog, I will briefly explain the differences between common agricultural business entities available in most states. First, I will discuss the traditional agricultural ownership structures, and then I will briefly touch on some of the new emerging structures that one should consider. When we discuss the traditional agricultural structures, those include first a sole proprietorship, second would be a general partnership, and the third would be a corporation. In the case of a sole proprietorship, this is completely controlled by a single owner and is the least expensive in respect to setup cost. The sole proprietorship is a very flexible entity for the owner, but it is not flexible when changing ownership and when raising capital. This is an easy structure to start, and this will last the duration of the owner's life or until the entity is either sold or closed. Our next entity is the general partnership, or a GP. The GP is structured much like a sole proprietorship, but it is shared by more than one owner. With a GP, the ownership is spread out between all partners according to the agreement, and the agreement will last for 5 years. The GP agreement can be amended and needs to be updated every 5 years in order for it to not expire. The general partnership is not flexible, and the GP agreement has to be amended. It's usually relatively easy to amend that agreement. The amendment is a cost that is required by the GP, and that is usually inexpensive. The third traditional entity that we will discuss is the corporation. The corporation is the most expensive of all the traditional agricultural ownership structures to set up, and the setup usually requires some filing fees. The ongoing costs here are also the most expensive, but the duration is unlimited. A corporation is owned by stakeholders, and if they set up as an S Corp, it can be a flexible structure. The structure is created via statute and law. It's important that we understand the differences with the liability, taxation, and ease of transfer when looking at these three different types of entities. When considering liability in a sole proprietorship, there is no liability shield. And in a general partnership, there is also no shield unless it is set up as a limited liability partnership. The corporation does have the advantage of being a limited liability entity, so the shareholders are not personally responsible or liable for acts or debts of the corporation. When considering the taxation of the three structures, the sole proprietorship is taxed as an individual. The GP has a partnership taxation, and a corporation may choose to be taxed as a partnership under an S Corp or as a corporation under a C Corp. In considering the ease of transfer for the sole proprietorship is relatively straightforward, and the business just simply terminates. With the corporation, the individual assets are transferred. In a partnership, ownership is tracked by individual accounts, and those individual capital accounts can change from year to year. A common strategy for farm transfer is to allocate the income shares of the partnership on a different basis than the capital shares. And when that happens, a senior generation partner can transfer just the income shares onto the junior partner. Some new emerging agricultural entities include a limited liability, or an LLC, a agricultural cooperative, and a non-for-profit corporation. Thank you for your attention with this vlog, and I would encourage any food entrepreneurs or farmers to seek out counsel in their jurisdiction for more information and for next steps.